Hey guys, this is Locke. Last week I released a video talking about an arena strategy with a loophole slash lag in it, and this week I'm basically trying to expand on it and provide some more detail around it. So I intentionally ranked down. As you can see, I used a low team to go from like 5,400 points to 5,300 points to see how this impacts. And you can also see that I'm at, like day 5 and 11 hours left. So I'm not doing this on the first day. I intentionally waited until the second day to do this to see if it's actually possible to do this like midweek or end of week, right? So people don't have to, use this strategy and then basically not be able to get any topaz for the rest of the week. You can actually wait until the end of the week to do this. So now I fast forward into like near the end of my recordings, because I didn't want to show you like matches going all the way from 5,300 to 5,900, but I'm around like the 5,900 mark. And take a look at the opponents I'm facing. They're mostly all like 5,500 or below, right? Like around that range. So I'm basically fighting opponents that are like 500 points below me. And I'll give you a little bit more detail after I go through these matches. This is only about a minute long. If you want to skip it, you can go to like the 3-minute mark or so. But yeah, you can see like, so basically I'm able to skip fighting opponents of my own range as I am doing a ton of battles in a short period of time. But to do this, obviously I have to spend rubies. So there are actually breakpoints where this is beneficial to do and breakpoints where this is totally inefficient to do. So I'll be going through all of that as well. And I did make sure that there are actually opponents in my range around like 5,900, but I just didn't fight any of them. So therefore I can kind of conclude, okay, this is something that exists, and this is something that I believe that a lot of people can take advantage of. Even people that it's not beneficial for them to do, if everyone else is doing it, you guys will benefit, because now you'll have less people to fight along in your range, so you can also go up in your arena range too. So I hope that more and more people kind of see this video and everyone understands how this works and is able to take advantage of it. Okay, I think that's probably enough. I think Tez is the only guy I fought that was like a higher range, and he's still like 200 range, like 200 points below me. But yeah, I think that's probably enough footage I've shown to kind of like get my point across. So I will stop at the end of this video and tell you how this works. So I've ranked up a bit more from where I left off in the video. I'm actually at 6,500 now. So the first point I wanted to get across was when I made that video last time, some people said that, hey, you know what, I've noticed this happening, but I don't really know if it's worthwhile to take advantage of it, because like, if you take advantage of it in the first day and you rank up 500 points more than where you're at, like say you're supposed to be around like say 5,000, but you use this method to get to 5,500 on Monday, and now from Tuesday to Sunday you're going to be losing all your matches, right? Because you're ranked 500 points more than where you're supposed to be. And so whenever you fight your competitive arenas, you get half the topaz amount that you would usually get, because you're losing all of them. So that's why I started on the second day. I didn't do this on Monday. I'm doing this on Tuesday to specifically say that, hey, if this is working midweek, this will work at the end of the week. So you can do this on Saturday or Sunday as well. You don't have to do this on in the beginning of the week and lose all your competitive matches. You can actually do this at the end of the week, and so you might only lose like 1 or 2 days of competitive arena. And that might be worthwhile. You can actually do your competitive arena first and then do your arena matches after, so you actually don't even lose your competitive matches at all. So that could be one way to get the maximum benefit out of this. The reason that I wanted to do it today is actually because at this rank, it's kind of about how like the more people that have revive accessories, the faster you win. And I happen to have 2 of them because I got lucky. So if I wait until the end of the week, more people might have those revive accessories, and it might be harder to even beat the guys at like 5,500 or so. That's why I had to do it today. But I mean, if it works today, it should work Saturday or Sunday. If it for some reason doesn't work on Saturday, Sunday, and you guys try it out, let me know. I am totally I am totally open to hearing things that don't work, so that I can make a more informed decision and give better advice to people. So that's the first thing I wanted to mention. So now to get into how it actually works. So basically, it seems like there is some time between when your rank updates in the game. So when I started, I was at like 5300, right? And I noticed that I was fighting 5300 rank opponents all the way up to like 5500. So I started at 53 something because I purposefully deranked, and as I started fighting, I started eventually fighting well, until I ranked up to like 5500, I kept fighting those 5300 opponents. And when I think at like 5600, I was still fighting those same, like, weaker opponents. So basically, I was able to rank up, say, like 300 points within, like maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it was, however long it took me to get those battles in, while still fighting the same opponent. So obviously, to do this, I have to spend rubies on these arena attempts because I only get 10 of them, right? So I basically spent like 200 rubies to go from 5,300 to 5,600 in a matter of 20 minutes or something like that. So then I continued, paying rubies and ranking up, and I noticed that my opponents stayed around 5,500. And if you look at the ranking, right, at the 5,500 range, there is a second there's a second what's it called, like requirement to be ranked superior, to be within the top 10,000 people in the server. And I think that might actually have something to do with this, where the ranking takes even longer to update. So as I said, like, from 5,300 to 5,600, it took me like 20 minutes. And after 20 minutes, my opponents actually started getting stronger. Like my opponents, when I was like 5,600, 5,700, my opponents actually started to be around like the 5,500 range. So it seems like it updated within that 20-minute, 30-minute time frame. I don't know if it's every hour or whatever. I don't know exactly what time I started, but I noticed that my opponents updated. But once they updated, they stayed the same. Like they stayed the same when I was doing those battles from 50, 56, 5,700 all the way to now, all the way to like 6,500. I still mostly fought the same opponents. And there are a lot of other guys in there, right? Like if you paid attention to the names that I fought before in the clips that I showed earlier, like a lot of the times I fought these guys, but there are other guys that are within my range I could fight. I never fought, a lot of these guys. Like I don't know why I didn't. Why didn't I fight Retribution or The End or Amps or I don't know why I didn't fight these guys. Like it just took. There's just some kind of lag, right? So basically, I'm able to spend a lot of rubies to rank up very, very fast in a short amount of time while fighting the same weaker opponents. So I mentioned one of the, like some people have told me the negative side of this, where you're losing competitive matches. So just make sure you don't do this at the beginning of the week. Do this closer to the end of the week, unless you happen to have really good gear that you can take advantage of, like a lot of revive accessories. So you want to do it at the beginning of the week, but then you would also might not be winning at the games in competitive arena and the rest of the week. So you have to kind of balance out to see when exactly you want to do it. So that's the first thing I wanted to say. The second thing I wanted to say was, as I said, I noticed that there was a pretty big lag, and there is a lag. So now it's been like a few hours since I did this, and when I tried to fight my opponents now, I did 8 fights, and 4 of those fights were against the rank 4 guy, the rank 6 guy, the rank 8 guy. Like I fought these guys. At least half of my matches were with the opponents I'm supposed to be fighting, whereas before, like, there was only like Tez, which was still like 200 points below me, that I fought, and the rest of these guys were like way down here. I don't know why, right? So it does update. It just takes a while to update. So that's so that's why I think this does work. There is something here that you can take advantage of, but there are some negatives associated with it as well. So I'm going to get into that. So if you look at the reward, I was around rank 5,500, right? So the reward that I've typically gotten is like 3,400 rubies. The amount of rubies that I'm getting now, I wouldn't say that I'm just legend. I'm not champion. Say that I'm like, legend 4, whatever it is. So I would get 5,400 rubies instead of 3,400. So I basically gained 2,000 rubies in profit, right? And so I can spend up to 2,000 rubies in refreshes and still benefit, right? Like if I can get to this rank by spending less than 2,000 rupees, I benefit. But that's not the case with some of these lower ranks. So you really have to be careful. For example, like if you are in Challenger, right? You're rank 4,000 and you do this to get to 4,500 points, you're only getting 400 extra rupees. So if you spend 400 rupees in refresh attempts to get to 4,500, sure, you might get a better belt, right? Because you have a Challenger belt, and now it goes up to a Master belt, where all your skills are, +1. But the ruby gain is flat. And if you happen to take more rubies, right? If you happen to take like, I don't know, 600 rubies to go from Challenger to Master, then you're actually losing rubies by doing this. So you have to be careful. And this is even more prevalent at like lower ranges. Like if you go from 3,000 to 3,500, you're only gaining like, less than 200 gems. So, you have to be careful to, unless you're okay with spending gems to get better belts, which I don't really recommend. But if that's what you want to do, you can do that to take advantage of this. But you really have to be careful at when you're doing this, and you have to have a pretty good idea, like a pretty good clue of how much rubies it's going to cost you. Typically, you're spending like 100 rubies for every 100 ranks, right? So for me, I went from 5,300 to 6,500, so that cost me 1,200 gems. So it cost me 1,200 gems, and I'm going to probably get like 2,000 gems return and a bunch of these like really good materials. So like if you are above the above the 6,000 point rank, sorry, not 6,000, it's actually up to here. If you're above the 5,500 rank, you'll also get this box, which I think these are pretty good because they help you to acquire the radiant weapons or radiant armor. So I think the box is also a pretty good reward as well, including the gems. So for me, it's definitely worth it. I spent 1,200 gems. I'm getting back 2,000 gems plus this box, so definitely worth it. But it might not be worth it for people that are in lower ranks. However, I think even the people in the lower ranks will benefit from this if everybody does it, because if everyone is doing it, the people that are walling you, I should say, right? The people that are walling you that are kind of at a lower range than where they're supposed to be, if they're easily able to rank up using this method, they will rank up, which means that you are also able to rank up naturally. Like you don't have to do this. You don't have to, spend gems to go up 500 ranks. You can naturally rank up because there'll be less strong opposition to you, because those guys will also have ranked up, right? So I hope this video helps. I hope it has given some information, like it has for me anyway. Like I think I've kind of confirmed that something is there, because after a few hours now, the opponents that I'm fighting now are like where my range actually is. It's not like I'm always fighting 500, minus 500 ranged opponents. I'm fighting the opponents that I'm supposed to be fighting. Like 2 out of 6 fights were against the rank 4 guy. So like that's what it's supposed to be, right? So I've done that. I've also addressed the question of, oh, well, I'm going to be losing all my competitive matches if I do this. That's not necessarily true, because you can do this later on in the week. You don't have to do it on the first day. A lot of people say, hey, I'm going to do this on the first day. Like people that I've talked to that were kind of aware of this, they have been taking advantage of this on the first day of the week because they believed that this is the best time to do this. And I'm not sure. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but it does work midweek, as I've just shown you right now. So you don't have to do this midweek either. You can do it at the end of the week to make sure that you get the maximum gain out of your competitive arena as well. And finally, I've also talked about the reward. Like sometimes it might not be beneficial to do this if the overall gem gain is less than the amount that you would make by refreshing on rubies. So be aware of that as well. But I hope that this video helps, and I hope that it helps everybody to rank up as a whole, because if you're ranking up doesn't mean that someone else is ranking down, right? So everyone should generally be able to just rank up, and as a population of the server, we should all generally be able to rank up like 1 or 2 tiers, hopefully, right? So I hope this video helped, and I hope that everyone is able to get better and better rewards from Arena, if using this method, if not some other method, right? So that's all I have for now, and I hope to see you guys next time. Take care now.